Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. Today, we are going to discuss our new chapter of physics, that is, chapter number 11, The Human Eye and the Colorful World. In the previous chapter, we studied about refraction of light by lenses. We discussed about their nature, position, size of images formed by lenses. Now, we are going to discuss about human eye. The human eye uses light and enables us to see things around us. It has a lens in its structure. What is the function of the lens in the human eye? How these lenses are used in spectacles to correct the defects of vision, we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter now. So our first topic of the chapter is human eye. Human eye is the one of the most valuable and sensitive sense organ. It enables us to see the things around us. The human eye is just like a camera. Its lens system forms an image on a line-sensitive screen which is called retina. The eyeball is almost spherical in shape with a diameter of 2.3 centimeter. The light enters the eye through a transparent membrane which is called cornea. Behind that cornea there is muscular diaphragm that is called iris, which has an opening called pupil. What is the function of pupil? Very important. The pupil controls the amount of light entering our eye. Our eye lens helps to focus the images on the retina. The ciliary muscles helps us to change the curvature of your eye lens and to change its focal length. So, this is a pictorial representation of human eye. Iris, cornea, pupil, ciliary muscles, retina and the optic nerve. These all things you have to learn with their functions. Now, let us see the next topic, that is power of accommodation of eye. What is power of accommodation? It is the ability of the eye lens to see both near and distant objects by adjusting its focal length. Now, the next point is near point. It is the minimum distance at which the eye can see the objects clearly without stress or strain is called the near point or least distance of distinct vision. For a normal eye, it is 25 centimeter. The next is far point. The far point is the farthest distance up to which the eye can see objects clearly without any strain is known as the far point. And for normal eye, it is infinity. So it means for normal eye, the vision varies from 25 centimeter to infinity. The next topic is in your book is 11.2 defects of vision and their correction. Please note, this topic is deleted from CBSE board this time. Now let us discuss our next article, article number 11.3, refraction of light through a glass prism. When a ray of light passes through a glass prism, it gets bent twice, first at the air-glass interface and second at the glass-air interface. The emergent ray, which is deviated by an angle to the incident ray, is known as angle of deviation. Now, next article is article number 11.4, dispersion of white light by a glass prism. In this, we will see when we will place a prism, it will split the incident white light into a band of colors. What is the sequence of colors that you see on the screen? The various colors which you see are violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red. To learn these colors, we use an acronym VIBGYOR. The band of the colored components is called its spectrum. The important point is the splitting of this white light into its component colors is known as dispersion. The red color bends the least while the violet bends the most. Now, the next experiment is recombination of the spectrum of white light again produces white light. Isaac Newton was the first to use a glass prism to obtain the spectrum of sunlight. He tried to split the colors of the spectrum by using white light, further by using another similar prism but in inverted position with respect to first. This allows all the colors of the spectrum to pass through the second prism. He founded a beam of white light emerging from the other side of the second prism. So this observation gave Newton the idea that sunlight is made up of 7 colors. Any light which gives a spectrum similar to the sunlight is often referred as white light. Now see another beautiful phenomena, which is rainbow. Rainbow is a natural spectrum which appears in a sky after a rain shower. It is caused by the dispersion of sunlight by tiny water droplets which are present in the atmosphere. A rainbow is always formed in a direction opposite to that of the sun. These water droplets actually act like small prisms. They refract the light and then they disperse the incident sunlight which fall on the tiny water droplets, and then they reflect it internally, and again they finally refract it when it comes out of the raindrop. Due to the dispersion of light and the internal reflection, different colors appears to the observer eye. You can also view a rainbow on a sunny day when you look at the sky through a waterfall or through a water fountain. Now come to the next article, that is 11.5, atmospheric refraction. Atmospheric refraction is actually due to the gradual change in the refractive index of the atmosphere. The refractive index of the atmosphere gradually increases towards the surface of the earth because the hot air above is less denser than the cold air below. So light gradually bends towards the normal and the real position of a star is different from the apparent position. This phenomena is basically twinkling of stars. The twinkling of star is actually due to atmospheric refraction of starlight. The starlight on entering the Earth's atmosphere undergoes refraction continuously before it reaches the Earth. The atmospheric refraction occurs in the medium of gradually changing refractive index. Since the atmosphere bends starlight towards the normal, the apparent position of the star is slightly different from its actual position. Sometimes the star appears slightly higher than the actual position when viewed near the horizon. Further, this apparent position of a star is not stationary. It keeps on changing slightly since the physical condition of the Earth's atmosphere are not stationary. Therefore, as the path of rays of light coming from the star goes on varying slightly, the apparent position of the star fluctuates and the amount of starlight entering the eye flickers. Sometimes the star appears brighter and sometimes fainter, which is known as twinkling effect. Now, important question over here is, why don't the planets twinkle? Because planets are much closer to the Earth and they are seen as extended sources. If we consider a planet as the collection of a large number of point-sized sources of light, the total variation in the amount of light entering our eye from the individually source will average out to 0. Therefore, it will nullify the twinkling effect. So this is the reason behind that planets don't twinkle. Another examples of atmospheric refraction are advanced sunrise and delayed sunset. The sun is visible to you about 2 minutes before sunrise and about 2 minutes after sunset. Again, the reason is same, due to atmospheric refraction. The apparent flattening of the sun disk at sunrise and sunset is also due to the same phenomena. Now, the next article of your book is 11.6, scattering of light. The blue color of sky, color of water in deep sea, reddening of sun at sunrise and sunset are some of the wonderful phenomena that we are familiar with. In your class 9th, you have learnt about scattering of light by colloidal particles. The path of a beam of light passing through a true solution is actually not visible. However, its path becomes visible through a colloidal solution. The phenomena under scattering of light is Tyndall effect. When a beam of light passes through a colloidal solution, the path becomes visible due to scattering of light by the colloid particles. This is known as Tyndall effect. The Earth's atmosphere contains air molecules, water droplets, dust, smoke, and many other tiny minute particles. When a ray of light passes through them, the particles scatter some light and the path of the light becomes visible. The color of the scattered light depends upon the size of the scattering particles. Very fine particles scatter blue light, and larger the size of the particle, different color they will scatter. Another example of the scattering of light is that the color of the sky is actually blue. Why? Because the fine particles in the atmosphere have smaller size than the wavelength of visible light. They can scatter blue light which has a shorter wavelength than red light. When sunlight passes through the atmosphere, the fine particles in the atmosphere scatter blue color more strongly than the red. So the sky appears to us as blue. If the earth will have no atmosphere, then it would not be any scattering of light and the sky would appear dark. You might have observed that the danger signal lights are red in color. The reason behind that is the red color is least scattered by fog or smoke. Therefore, it can be seen in the same color at a distance. Now, the next article is color of the sky at sunrise and sunset. During sunrise or sunset, the sun is near the horizon and the light from the sun travels through the thicker layers and longer distance through the atmosphere. Near the horizon, most of the blue light and shorter wavelengths are scattered away by the particles of air, and the red light and longer wavelength reaches our eye. This gives rise to reddish appearance of the sun. So, this is all about the chapter 11, that is human eye and the colorful world. Thank you.